All right, you're live.
Welcome back, everyone, to our fourth roundtable discussion for the Book of Boba Fett. We are your host, Char J, Luke at Pause One Podcast, and Hereth Productions. We could do our short introductions, but we do that kind of every week. And if you guys are here, you probably know who we are. So we thank you guys all for joining us. Last week's episode of Book of Boba Fett, in my opinion, was the best one, and it was such a banger, and anticipation for the next week's episode is at an all-time high. So I cannot wait to have this conversation with these awesome hosts and these lovely guests that we have on tonight. So without further ado, let's introduce our first guest, Jedi Connor.
Hey
guys, how we doing?
What's up?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for joining us. So just kind of get everything started. Who are you? And then obviously, where can we find your content for all the viewers?
Yeah, so I'm Connor, also known as Jedi Connor on TikTok, and I make mostly Star Wars content as well as some Avatar Last Airbender content. But we haven't gotten much from that recently, so it's a full head of steam on Star Wars.
Awesome. And then maybe some YouTube coming up, right?
Yep, I'm hoping to get on the YouTube train.
Awesome. We need a Jedi Connor podcast.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
We need it. But no, thank you so much, Connor, for joining us. And our next guest will go to Fangirlmeegs.
Hello.
What's up? Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, everyone.
And then same thing that we asked Connor, who are you and where can we find you and your awesome content?
I am Meegs. I'm on TikTok mainly, also Instagram, just more recently. And the content that I make is mainly Star Wars, some Harry Potter, and some Lord of the Rings as well.
Awesome. We love that. And then what house are you since you do Harry Potter stuff?
I am a Hufflepuff, loud and proud.
Awesome. And then our next guest will go with Mariah.
Hey guys.
What's up? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And then same thing, we asked them to the other two. Who are you? Where can we find you?
Yes, my name is Mariah Carleyy with 2 Y's at the end. You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok. I do content for Star Wars, Marvel, any fandom that is dark and fantasy. That's me. Best content is actually on Instagram. TikTok, it got into like the Disney side for some odd reason. It's bad. So I'm trying to let that die down before I get back onto that.
No,
Awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, yeah, for sure. And then let's introduce our last guest, Chris.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I'm Chris. I do a podcast, Dark Side Divas and Marvelous Divas. Dark Side Divas is a Star Wars podcast. Marvelous Divas, which is newer, is a Marvel podcast. I do that with my best friend. You can also find me on TikTok at SquireX2, though my TikTok powers are super crap. But you can still follow me.
What are you talking about? We're trying to get you to 1,000 followers. We're gonna.
Yeah, I talk about. I generally talk about Disney and Star Wars. I'm a huge Disneyland fan, so there's a lot of me going to Disneyland videos. But I also like to talk shit about Star Wars.
There you go. Before we start, we'll go around. It'll be open discussion. What have you guys thought of the show so far? I know.
Oh wait, and this is my friend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hello, I'm just Carter's friend. Big movie guy, big Star Wars guy. Big Marvel fan though. Thinking about making some TikTok content. That's about all though.
Hi, Carter's friend.
Hello, Carter's friend. How's it going? I'm the co-host.
Hi, Carter's friend. No, but what have you guys thought of the show as a whole? I know we've had Chris on for the second episode, wasn't it?
The third one.
Third episode. That's right.
The third episode, the one that everybody really loved.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man. But what were your guys' what have been your guys' thoughts on Book of Boba Fett as a whole so far?
I'm underwhelmed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Explain. I want to hear this. This is going to be interesting.
Basically, I'm having a hard time my big issue is picturing this as Boba Fett. This is not how I pictured it. If this was any other clone, if this was Rex, if this was Cody, if this was anyone else, this would be an amazing show. But as Boba Fett, I'm having a really, really hard time. But I love the actor. I love Tamora Morrison. I love this. I love it. But it's just really hard for me seeing this as Boba.
Ooh, interesting.
So do you think that you would have wanted more flashbacks to kind of see how his mindset changed, or what would you want more to kind of see how we got?
I
to
would
where
have
he is
loved
now?
if it was set before New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, seeing him being this ruthless bounty hunter and him building up, maybe seeing the teen version of him growing up, flashbacks, and maybe seeing him grow, just more of that aspect of it. I think it would have made more sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now,
I think this way is going with the villains and stuff, and I think it would have been made more sense if it would have set place before Empire.
Okay.
That's nice. That's an interesting take.
Yeah, for sure.
Who else?
Well, I personally have loved the show so far. My only piece of feedback is I think Disney really needs to take a look at their release strategy, because while I understand the business need of having stuff released week by week, and they pretty much have done that with all of their Marvel movies and most Star Wars shows, I think certain projects have actually been hurt by it. You know, I think about WandaVision, for example. You know, I love WandaVision when it first came out week by week, but when I got to go back and watch it full Netflix style, where I got to go through the whole show at my own pace, it was so much better. And I feel like Book of Boba Fett is really suffering for that right now. I think people are just really wanting to advance the storyline and see the whole thing as like a book, like it's intended. And I think it's actually hurting the show. But I have loved it thus far. I have very few complaints about it. You know, I don't go into a Star Wars project with any expectations, because I learned my lesson from the prequel trilogy way back in the day. And I'm just looking forward to see what happens next.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can go next. I've been really enjoying this show. I think that it's nice to see Boba Fett the person for a while, and not just Boba Fett just killing a bunch of people. It's cool to just see the take what they're doing with his character just on a personal level, because we know he's badass and he can do a bunch of cool things, but to see him like deal with like his past, his traumas is really interesting to see. And I love that we're going into that depth with him. And also it's just is incredible with all the new technology that they're using, and it just looks great. So I'm really enjoying the show.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm sure everything going forward is going to look really, really, really good.
No, yeah, absolutely.
And
so Luke,
Meeks-
when do you
sorry.
when would you like me to do my my
Meek-
questions for everyone? Because I feel like
Meeks
like
didn't
that'd
go
be,
yet.
oh yeah, you can go ahead. I mean, yeah, go ahead. I feel like I have a question very similar to that, but yeah.
Perfect. I'll go quick.
Take your time. Take your time.
I will piggyback off of what Connor said. I think I am really liking a deep dive into like some fun character development. Seeing Boba as a critter lover, except for the Sarlacc, and the kind of guy who wants to like build a, I don't know, girl boss family, like adopting everyone he's ever met and turning them into his coworkers, his friends, his buddies, whether it's, you know, the street urchins or Fennek, or even like Black Chrysanthemum. He's just like, recruiting everyone. So I like seeing I just rewatched the Mando episodes with Fennec and Boba, and I was surprised by like just seeing all of the action that he was, defeating all the stormtroopers, and it was cool to see the comparison of now this kind of like this whole I want to rule with respect, and how they're showing and not just telling that line.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I'll go next. I really like the show so far. I think they're doing a lot of the flashbacks really well. I think we're seeing a lot of stuff that we like really needed to see in those flashbacks that like aren't up for speculation anymore, like how to get out of the Sarlacc pit, etc. But it kind of took, I think the show in general kind of took me by surprise, because I feel like myself, and I think a decent amount of people also thought that it was just going to be like Boba's revenge tour, which in reality it's not. It's Boba, like we get to see him a lot more on a personal level, and he's not just this ruthless killer, which like a revenge tour I guess would kind of like, that's what you would think it would be if him just killing everyone. But no, I think it's really good. I think we're seeing a lot of great character development. I think as the show goes along, we're going to start seeing some more characters that we love in Star Wars, and it's just going to keep on getting better.
Hereth?
Yeah. I was gonna say again, I'm thoroughly enjoying the show so far. I think I still prefer Mando over it, and maybe Clone Wars and Rebels. But like so far, I think it's a really good show. I think we're ramping up right now, and I think we're about to get to the best parts of the show as like the last 3 episodes come out. Because obviously we're getting to that point where we're getting to like that threshold where we're about to like build up. Obviously they're building up these like squads of bounty hunters. So again, I'm being patient with the show. I'm really enjoying it so far though.
And Clayton?
Honestly, I'm kind of like have mixed feelings about it too, because like Chris said with like WandaVision, every episode you had something to look forward to afterwards, and you're like hyped to see the next episode. After the first couple episodes, I was kind of like this isn't really it for me yet. But now that like Mando's come in, which is what we think, I'm getting more and more hyped about it. And like a couple of the episodes for me were just kind of mixed, but like the second and this newest episode were pretty good for me.
I'm kind of with the consensus. I've really, so starting off, I'm Boba Fett wasn't like a character that I was like really itching to get into. Like my show is like later down the road, and like I will become a heathen when said show comes out. But like after that first episode, like I don't know what they did, but like it blew me away. Like I was like, I'm actually caring about Boba Fett. Who would have thought that I would care about Boba Fett? And it's like he's such a interesting character because we didn't know much about him in the original trilogy. I mean, we've got a whole bunch of backstory with the prequels, Clone Wars a little bit, and then like comics, but like we haven't done like a deep dive on him at all. I think Mariah, I think we're gonna get a chance to get a season 2. And if they do that, maybe they'll have flashbacks to that time period that you're talking about. There's a possibility that it could happen. I mean, if the show does well, why not green light it? You know what I mean? But it has to make sense. But I've really enjoyed it, and obviously I'm a Black Chrysanthemum guy, so I love seeing that furry Wookiee. Anytime he's on screen, I'm like, let's go! Like for the Wookiees, I'm here. But I've loved it so far. Jar?
Yeah, and well, it's kind of my obligation to like this show because Boba Fett has been my all-time favorite character. But this recent episode blew me away. I don't know about you guys, but this episode it was a nail in the pocket for me to not like this episode or this show in general, because it's like back and forth, because the first episode was okay, the second was phenomenal, the third was divisive, and the fourth was just, oh my god. Like the fourth was like the one that we were anticipating to see, because it's the connecting tissue between Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. So I just thought that episode was really well done, and yeah, that's my thoughts on it so far.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna move into the questionnaire for all of you guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask 5 questions about the show in general, and it could be about the specific episode from Wednesday. So I'm going to ask you all, and then you individually answer it, just to share some opinions and thoughts. So the first one is pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. What was your favorite scene from the episode, and why, from this recent episode?
and Roundtable, just jump in. Take it away. Anybody.
I'll go first real quick. I mean, obviously, for me, it was the end scene when you heard the Mando theme.
Yep.
It just turned the episode up like 10 times because you're like, oh, snap. You know who's coming now.
Mhm.
For me, it was a tie between the cooking droid scene, which I loved, with the Grievous callback, and then Boba in the fire spray, murdering all those people on speeders. I love that so much, and it was badass.
I enjoyed the scene inside the cantina with Black Chrysanthemum and him being there with like the Trandoshans because she's trying to talk him down, but the Wookiees hate Trandoshan. So to me, it was like whatever what they've done to my people and what they did to me. He was like, take your money. They need to hurt like they hurt us. So that's how I took it.
Oh my god.
The arm will go back.
It was,
Oh
I
my
like the
God.
dark stuff. Maybe I am like a full Slytherin, but
I mean, that Trandoshan was dead the moment he got lifted off the ground. I was like, oh, he's dead. There's no.
well, he's not dead. He just lost his arm. They don't.
It'll grow
It'll
back.
grow back.
It'll
It'll grow
grow
back
back.
eventually.
He's fine. It's
I-
Disney.
If you guys
Years grow
watch, the reaction, me and Char the entire time, rip his arm off, rip it off, rip it off,
Like,
yeah! and like when he did it, I was like, we are the scumbags in the back of the cantina just egging people on to fight, and we're just like, yeah, yes,
Same.
I am here for this. But like this episode, just took like there were multiple things that I loved about it, like him chasing down the bikers, like Chris said. The Black Chrysanthemum thing for me was amazing.
Anytime he just looks cool.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm a Wookiee guy. So like if a new Wookiee gets brought in, like Chrysanthemum, I'm like, yep, I'm always here for it. Like if he comes on screen, I'm like, I don't care what everybody else is doing. I'm watching him. Like if I had to choose a bodyguard, he would definitely be my first choice. No way is anybody touching me. But like I really like the direction, and obviously the Mando stuff. It's just kind of up in the air what we're gonna see next. But I love this episode.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite scene was when Boba and Fennek are sitting around the fire, and we see Boba talk about why he wants to be this crime lord and why he doesn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. And he said that he's tired of people losing their lives for idiots. Basically, he's like, I'm smarter than everybody that's doing this. Why can't I do it myself and do it right? So I think that's that character stuff that I love to see with Boba.
Yeah, I'll go next. My favorite scene probably has to be when the camera pan down the night and you see like the Mando scene go off like with the sound effect and like he runs and saves Fennek, because like that's like the nice connective tissue I've been waiting for between. I was like, how long are we gonna get before we get to Mando season 1? Because I was really confused about like where the timeline was on the flashbacks. You don't know how many years it's been, so I was waiting for that moment where it's like, oh, this is how long it's been. So when that happened, I was like, when the 5 years happened, I was like, oh my god, we're here. Like that whole sequence is like chef's kiss.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with my co-host too. I think that was also my favorite scene. I mean, I know right whenever it went, like when it was nighttime, me and Hereth and our reaction, we were both like, they wouldn't just do this for no reason. There's a reason it's the nighttime. And then obviously we got all of that, and yeah, it is really nice, a nice way that they tied in Mando, which was definitely something that I wanted, and I think we kind of needed with the flashbacks. We weren't really sure when they took place.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll go last, of course. And
well, no, Meeks has still got to go.
Oh, I keep forgetting that she's
so quiet.
I thought she did. I thought she already went.
No,
I
she's
apologize.
She's so quiet. Yeah.
Well, I'll go next then. Well, I think my favorite scene in general was when Boba was flying over the Kenton Striders, and then in the live watch along, I was like, "Look, he's coming! He's coming!" In the corner of the screen, you just see the ship just slowly approaching, and then he starts blasting them all. I'm like, "Yes!" I just wanted the Tuskens avenged, and that was the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I think something that's crazy is that each one of us, except for me and Hereth, said a different scene. It's
I
we
said
each
all the
found
seenes,
something.
so it's like
Luke
not
cheating
to
by
my,
not
not to
picking
toot my
one.
own
Asked
horn.
it.
I just liked everything, you know.
Well, that's the reason why that was the first question, was because there were so many good moments
There
in this episode.
was.
It was a
so
banger.
That's why that's why this episode works so well. It's because there's so many connective moments between Mandalorian and the show right now, and there's a lot of stuff that's happening. Like, we get Black Chrysanthemum joining Boba Fett now, and it's like there's so much to look forward to in this next episode. It's incredible.
Yeah, and Black Chrysanthemum opens the door for a lot of things.
Mhm.
Seeing a full comic character come to live action, like, that literally just widens the possibility of anyone from the books or comics coming back. Yeah, which I'm sure that's probably one of your questions later. Who do we think? But I don't want to get too much into that now. But I mean, Chrysanthemum just being there in general just widens the variety.
Oh,
of people we could
absolutely.
see.
And Meegs, your turn.
Okay, I feel like I have a lot of moments that I really, really liked, but I'm going to narrow it down to 3. I loved Fennek and Boba going to the Sarlacc pit, and just the funny joke of like, don't push my buttons, and her being like, dude, what? And the moment when, after he was going to like get his armor, he thought it might be in there still, and Fennek was like pouring water over his head, and she just looked really like you're such an idiot, but I'm here for you. It was just a very like fun moment. And then the second one was when, Boba and Fennek were having their conversation about like, why is he going to start a house? He needs her because she's brains and muscle. And I just loved his line of like, I am pledging my loyalty to you. Like, I'll cut you in on the success and I pledge my life to protect yours. And I was like, he's a Hufflepuff. And the last one is, I saw this on Twitter, so I can't take credit, but the conversation where Fennek was like, living with the Tuskens has made you soft, and Boba was like, no, it's made me strong. Just felt like just like a slap in the face to all the toxic people who've just been like, yeah, he's the worst. Like, I loved that Fennek was able to have that conversation with him and see like the beauty that was a tribe of Tuskens and him being a part of that and kind of being like adopted into that. So those are my 3 faves.
Yeah, those are amazing picks, because that dialogue scene between Fennek and Boba at the fire was fantastic. And I thought that scene where Fennek was like, Boba Fett is dead, and then Boba says the most Boba Fett thing ever, says, I was. I was like, that is such a Boba Fett thing to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, Mags, are you implying that there are toxic people in the Star Wars community? How dare you? How dare you?
No. There's not people that insist that you're wrong, but don't want to agree to disagree. Like, just come on. We can't all be right?
Yeah.
Here we go. If you're not following Camilla, Boyaka Wookie, squad, I'm here. Have we talked about King Santi? Yes, we have. But there will be more King Santi talk. I guarantee it. Don't worry. You haven't missed a lot. So, Char, second question.
All right. The second question is, it was kind of similar to the very first question that we asked, but here it is. We're now past the halfway point for the show. Has the Book of Boba Fett met/exceeded your expectations, or have you not been satisfied with the show yet?
I mean, like I said earlier, I don't go into a Star Wars show with expectations. That's mistake number 1, because if you look at just Dave Filoni's work alone, he will subvert any expectations you may set, for better or worse. So why bother?
Mm-hmm.
I will echo that. I sometimes don't even watch trailers because I don't like having expectations. So I feel like I've gone into this. Also, I'm just the kind of like, everything is great. I'm only going to focus on the positives because I don't like to I just don't like to focus on the things that make me sad. I would much rather put my energy into things that I love. except for, I think, like very serious moments where I'm like, this is not okay at all. That being said, I feel like since I don't really want to have expectations, I feel like I've just been really, really enjoying, for the most part. The last episode, I feel like I was a little disappointed in, but other than that, I've been really happy.
I envy you, Meegs. Not watching trailers, like that takes dedication to not watch anything. I hope you realize that. That's like a superpower.
And that takes courage too. Like, how
Because I
can
couldn't
you
do that?
see? There's something on the screen that you're wanting to see, but you're just like, nope.
You're just like,
Meegs just like likes to plug off and just like not pay attention. She could read a book and she'd be okay.
Like, especially
and that's just
for
awesome.
No Way Home, like there was about 8 different trailers, and every single person on the
No Way
planet
Home
has watched
ruined me.
every single one.
I watched it in Brazilian too, and I don't speak Portuguese, so it was like
you just watched it for that one frame of Lizzie.
Oh, I did. I was piecing it together. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Which one of them is
if I
it?
went into none of that happened in No Way Home, I was gonna hate Marvel forever. I was like, I was afraid they were gonna pull a DC. I was gonna be, this is gonna be like a DC movie. Nothing's gonna happen. But luckily, everything came true, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But that being said, it kind of ruined it for Boba Fett for me. I have to be the one that say, Mandalorian so far is like. It's just right underneath it for me. I went in there thinking that this is going to be better than The Mandalorian just because it's Boba Fett. And therefore, I think it's because, and I do blame all you guys because you guys hyped Boba Fett up for me for all these years. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to be such a badass. Like, here we go. Can I say that here? I'm not even sure.
No,
but
yeah,
I was like,
I said the word ass about 2 times yesterday.
I mean, just seeing him in The Mandalorian, that was everything I ever wanted. And I thought I was going to get that again here in this show, his own show. And we didn't. I haven't seen that yet. I'm assuming we're going to see it later in the season. But I honestly, that was my own fault going into it, thinking that he's just going to go in there and just kick some ass all the time.
I'm going to have... Yeah.
See, that's interesting because I'm old here. I'm almost 40. So when the prequels were coming out, Boba Fett was the gatekeeper icon. Like if somebody said, "Oh, I love Boba Fett, fuck the prequels, blah blah," it's like, "Oh, you're a toxic fan." And when he was introduced into Mandalorian, I was super uncomfortable with it just because I associated toxic fandom with Boba Fett. So the fact that Book of Boba Fett is taking a totally different approach with him has been blowing my mind the whole time. And it's just, I don't have words for it, but I've been watching the disintegration of all those toxic fanboys' minds at my age, like fall apart.
Oh, and I love that. I love that. Cry.
They're canceling their Disney Plus subscription, even though I know they're not paying for it. They're totally stealing Book of Boba Fett online and all that kind of stuff. But whatever. It's been wonderful, and even if I don't like any of the future episodes, like I love it for that.
I'm gonna have to agree with Mariah. Like right now, with I'm a huge Marvel fan, like way more than I am Star Wars. And with Marvel, we've been getting so much stellar content. Like,
well, you can't compare.
Year.
You can't. Compare
I know,
the two.
yeah,
You can't.
Yeah, but like even with Mandalorian last season, we got like a huge reveal almost every episode.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
like you're almost expecting that to happen in Boba Fett, and it's finally going to start happening. But like as of right now, it hasn't really happened. So it's been on the down low for me, honestly.
I think I'll be honest. I think what actually ruined it for me was the Bad Batch. I'll be honest. I did not enjoy the Bad Batch. Ooh. And I didn't. I people are going to hate me, but I went into that thinking it was going to be amazing too. But I think I'm just kind of like, it kind of killed it for me because I was coming in, like you said earlier, Chris, coming in week after week. That should have been released all at one time because that took a lot of energy out of me. And going into this, I don't know. It's slowly building back up, but the Bad Batch took my energy out because how many weeks was it? It was a lot of weeks.
It was like 12 weeks. I
12
mean,
weeks,
that's a perfect example. Like if
12
Bad
weeks.
Batch,
16.
Bad Batch all came out at once, it probably would have been a much
I
better
thought it was
experience for a lot of
16
people.
too. I thought we had like
Let me
6.
look.
We had
Oh,
a
my.
lot. I think it was more than 12. I'm not sure. It was a lot.
Yeah.
If
And
we
cut-
would have,
Yeah, 16.
if we
Yeah.
would
Wow.
have,
Either
Yeah.
way, it was in the double digits.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean-
a long
And then you
time.
only get 30 minutes and coming in week after week, and the payoff was it was so bad. The payoff of it, the ending of it.
and you
Yeah,
know what,
fine.
Mariah, you're not the only person though.
Mhm.
Like you're not the only one that feels like that, and that's totally fine. Absolutely, like you can have that thought. And
I think a lot of times,
no, yeah, go
I'll
ahead,
put-
Carter.
I think a lot of times I'll put the Bad Batch as like just like an extension of the Clone Wars, because I think that's how a lot of the Clone Wars is that it's really good if you binge it, but
Right.
then if like I would not want to, I couldn't do like season 2 of the Clone Wars week by week, like it would just kill you. So I
Well, even
definitely see where you're coming from.
then, we didn't get one episode a week.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
2 episodes a week, coming in every Saturday morning after school, watching it,
Yeah. So like
or
yeah, I
Saturday evenings. is when I
totally
watched it.
get where you're coming from there, because I think if they did release all the Bad Batch episodes at once, then I think then you watch all of them, then you definitely like remember like the highlights and stuff like that. Instead it's like it kind of drags along.
Yeah,
So I
it's
for sure see where you're coming from.
forgetful. Like with Bad Batch, like if you go back and think about it, there's only a few like insane moments that you can remember, but like for the most part, it was just like, okay, this is cool.
Oh well, I mean, I disagree with that. Like Bad Batch, I love, but it is Clone Wars season 8.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, for me, like my favorite Star Wars theme is family, and Bad Batch did a much better job than most Star Wars projects executing that theme, especially at the finale. Kind of helped that, like, or did not help. I had a death in the family around the time that the finale came out, and it was like super comfort for me. But that's just like, that's the power of Star Wars. There's like so many different takes and so many different perspectives that you could have. You know, somebody love it, somebody not love it, and both are true. That's just the way it is.
I just think
And-
it's their execution of it. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. For me, like I wouldn't change a thing with Bad Batch right now because I loved it so much. Now, other stuff could happen with the new season that could change that, right? That's the problem. That's the challenge with Star Wars, that if you build all these stories on top of one another, like one bad story could topple the whole thing down from your perspective. And so that's why I think Disney really needs to like look long and hard about their release strategy, because I do think some shows work week to week. I don't think Bad Batch or Book of Boba Fett works. Mandalorian did, because like somebody said earlier, there were major reveals. There were self-contained episodes that worked well as a self-contained episode. Book of Boba Fett does not work as a self-contained episodes, but it's a book, right? And it's meant to be taken in at once.
Yeah, and also I think another contributing factor to it is the release date in general. Like those episodes came out on Friday,
Right.
as opposed to Book of Boba coming out on Wednesday.
For the
Right.
love of
Friday,
God,
Friday,
yeah.
people are ending their week and like they're going home, relaxing, or going out with friends. Like that's their time to just relax. And if they want to watch TV, they can immediately watch the new episode of Mandalorian.
Please,
But now since
Disney,
it's in the dead center of the week, it's a little bit different.
for the sleep schedule, please put it back on Fridays. My God.
Yeah, you get it like Tuesday night at like midnight.
Oh,
You're
not
just like,
fun.
I wish they would do Wednesdays for like Marvel and then like Fridays for Star Wars. That would
I
help
agree.
me.
That's
That
how
would
it
help-
was with
It
Loki.
used to be that way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish, because it would help me out a lot if they did
Especially
that.
if you're East Coast. We
We gotta
stay
get up
till
at 3 a.m.
3
Yeah, East
3
Coast is a
a.m.,
no-go. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. On my YouTube channel, we do the watch parties, and I'm up at 3 a.m. watching it, and I'm struggling. So maybe that's another reason why I'm not enjoying Boba Fett, because I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning,
I mean,
like
that would
gonna
do it.
die.
Yeah.
But episode 2 was amazing, though. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I'll go off of that. Just I'm like, I didn't have that high expectations going into it. I kind of just let myself experience it, and I wasn't trying to say I hope this happens. I hope this happens. Overall, I'm super enjoying the show, and I think the best part for me might be the development of the Tuskens. their culture, their rituals, just like the whole entire arc with the Tuscans. And obviously it's been cut short, but I think that for me is like the most rewarding part of this show is seeing, especially like episode 2 is top tier Star Wars content for me. I was tearing up at the end when they're all dancing around I think that's been the best part for me. And seeing the lessons that he learned with the Tuscans carrying over into now.
Very nice, very nice.
Anybody?
Who's next?
Char, what about yourself?
Me? Okay. Well, I mentioned this before, so I made a video about my predictions for characters coming in, and I did mention Black Chrysanthemum, so that was maybe a slight expectation, but I was right, and it felt great. But just like what Connor said, like the expectations for this show are, it's kind of hard to have any because you have no idea what's going to happen or what. You already know what Boba's going to do, but you already wonder how is he going to do it, who is he going to encounter, if there's any other adversaries he has to face to get that spot or to maintain it. It's hard because the show is just phenomenal. You don't know what to expect. Like it's literally a heart monitor with how these episodes are going. Like it's okay, great, bad, great. And I feel like it maybe continue, but
I don't want another bad one though, because this last one was good. I don't want another bad one. I
feel
want
like
it to keep going up.
I feel like since now flashbacks are coming to a close, we'll get more of a basis on current Boba, because the flashbacks interfered a lot with the current story. And now since we're going to have more of the current story, we'll be able to get to see more, and we'll be able to extend that story out longer, because it was half and half. Like episode 4 was like 80% flashback. All of it was just showing how Boba went out, got his ship, took out the people that killed his second family, and went to go and just, it was all flashbacks. But now since it's starting to simmer down a little bit, we're going to get more crime lord Fett. So
also, like, if we're looking for, badass Boba Fett, like a la The Mandalorian season 2, I think since they're gearing up for war, possibly you'll be seeing that side of him come out again,
Yeah. And he's all healed too. So
yeah, he's 100%.
And I think in a different way though,
30 seconds.
Because he's not going to be like he's going to still have all the same skills, but his mindset's going to be a lot different, which I think is going to be really cool. And I'm actually happy that Char went first, because I kind of had the same opinions going into the show. Was I didn't know what to expect, as I'm sure a lot of us didn't really know what to expect. So my expectations were not low, but there were really no expectations. So I think from what we have from the show right now, it's kind of like what I would think would be happening with Boba Fett, and it's definitely going to start to ramp up. And I would think that the next few episodes are going to be a lot of preparation, a lot of recruiting, trying to get new people. So I'm really, really excited for what's coming next. But as of what happened already, I would say it's probably about what I would think would happen. And Luke, what about you?
Like I said, my expectations were pretty low. Because like I said, I wasn't expecting to like Boba Fett. By the way, we have to acknowledge Chewie, because we always have a Chewie moment in every single episode, and I thought this was a perfect time for him to have one.
Let's look at that. But Chewie is next to Chrysanthemum.
Which, by the way, I have committed to, like, if I get another dog, it's going to be named Chrysanthemum. That's happening.
No way. No way.
Yeah, Chrysanthemum, dude. It's happening.
Or just call him, or just name it Santy. I feel like that'd be safer.
If his name's Chrysanthemum, you can't call him Chrysanthemum. You have to call him like Krusty.
Well, then I can call him Kerr. Get over here, Kerr. Kerr. And guess what? He's going to be a Great Dane, or he's going to be big dog. Exactly.
He has to be big dog. You can't have a name like Chrysanthemum that's like powerful.
And it's like a tiny dog.
Have like a Chihuahua.
That's true. And then I'll get him like his guard, like his spikes. Yeah, I'll get him a spike collar. Dude, I've got this all planned. Like, this is going to be great.
Now,
but
or
yeah,
so I think you could go either really, really big, a really big
or go
dog,
really
or
small.
go really small. And that
That would be
Yeah,
hilarious.
just get an Alaskan Malamute and just name it Kerr. Come here, Kerr.
No, but yeah, I didn't have really a whole lot of expectations. So I mean, every episode has been great for me. So it's gonna be opposite for Kenobi. I'm just gonna be straight up honest.
Oh
with you on that
yeah.
one.
Kenobi's like right up here because that's
My God, I'm just waiting for for pain and more pain. Just like
I want it to
Fallen
make
Star.
me cry. Every episode better make me cry.
That's yeah. But yeah, I mean, I haven't had a whole lot of expectations, so I like coming in. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I like what we see. I like what I see. Like there were some parts, especially the last episode with how they handled some things, but like I think it really bounced back, especially with how he was able to avenge the Tuscans. But I mean, it was great.
Kind of just building off what Luke says, I think like Carter and Luke, I had like zero expectations. Like we had like some ideas where it was going from, like what like the odd Robert Rodriguez interview here or there, where like, oh, it's like this, oh, it's like this. So we're like, we really didn't have barely to any, so it's like I couldn't really judge the show. And then I was like, the first 3 episodes, I was like, oh, this is all about the flashbacks. Maybe the flashbacks are the main story, but now we're shifting to the present day, so it's kind of like hard to kind of judge it as of right now. I'm really enjoying it. It's just like it's hard to kind of put like, oh, this is what the show is.
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing, Mariah is the only one that is not satisfied with the show yet, but is okay. So there's 2 people in here that are not satisfied with the show.
It's not necessarily that I'm
I just-
not satisfied. It's just like I have high expectations from Mando season 2. Like we're gonna get so many new characters from like animation and stuff, and it just like hasn't hit it for me yet. But it's going to.
I have to wait until the overall at the end of it to see how it is, because I do the same thing with Marvel. I have to see how the outcome is.
Yeah, that's why I listed in the question if you are satisfied yet.
Yeah.
Like,
No, not yet. It's slowly getting there. Like you said, it keeps going up and up for me, except for episode 3. It's like that was awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I hope that happens for you. I hope the show does escalate farther than where it's been right now.
But like everything else about it, I love the visually, like because I'm a really big into movies, and it's beautiful. I can't deny that. It's just it's really hard for me just to picture him. Maybe it's because I'm a clone fan. I keep picturing him as this, hey, this is Rex or this is Cody. Like I can't get myself out of that, and I need to, and I do that to myself because when I see him, maybe it's because we didn't see Boba's face in the original trilogies. Maybe that's why I'm having a hard time.
Yeah,
because I see his face and I think of clones, and I know that he's technically a clone, but it's really hard for me to say. Maybe it's because I'm a prequel. I grew up with the Clone Wars. It's just really hard for me to get that in my brain.
Remember, there's a difference.
I was gonna say I have a strong feeling though that Rex is gonna be in the Ahsoka show. I just at the way it's gonna be set up, like I feel like it's coming.
If he's not, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm
gonna cry. I am going to cry upon seeing him.
That's
I'm
my
so hyped
ex.
for the Ahsoka show.
Ahsoka's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tamora Morrison like accidentally let it like they asked him and he was like, well, we don't know we don't know what we are talking about. Like he was like they were asking him questions and he goes, we haven't seen a whole lot of Cody or Rex. I mean, we have in the animated series, but we haven't seen much from those guys. And it's like, dude,
I love
just slap us with the I'm in it. Don't worry.
Actors are the worst.
I think that's true too, because if you notice, Boba still has his scar, and I think that's how they're going to keep them all separated. He still has his scar, even though he's like, you're 100% healed. He has a scar right here, and I do believe it's because that way we can identify which one's which one.
Yeah, well, remember, there's a difference between Rex, Cody, and all the other clones, and then Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Rex is a clone. Boba Fett is the clone.
Yeah.
So
wow.
So
One thing. So when we were talking about the scar, you just
It's his personalities, though. I keep seeing this personality, and I keep thinking this feels like a Cody redemption. Like I feel like this would be him trying to find himself again after Order 66. That's just what I keep seeing in my head.
Yeah.
No, maybe we'll see Cody and Obi-Wan. I think
don't give me hopes. Don't give me hope.
That would be heartbreaking.
That would be heartbreaking. No, but anybody catch when he gets out of the back to tank, right? So Mariah, she reminded me about the scar. Fennek comes up the stairs and she goes, how are all the outside scar? What about the inside scars? And he says, those are going to take longer. So obviously I'm thinking that it's not only, I think see, at the end of the episode of the reaction, I said, we're done with flashbacks. But that quote of the inside scars are going to take a lot longer to heal. I think we're going to get more. I always thought the plot device was the back to tank. We're done with the back to tank. But like, are we done with the flashbacks?
More his dad?
Do you also think that maybe you think a lot of the inside scars could be from the Tuskens getting killed?
No, I think it's more because of his dad and all of his trauma and everything he's been through.
Yeah, his
and then
inner
him
demons,
being a gladiator during that time, seeing his time with Black Chrysanthemum, because they have to touch on that. They know each other because it's still canon.
And also, I'm pretty sure we're going to see more Camino at some point in a flashback. I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a quick, like a minute where we're going to see a bunch of clones walk by, and I am going to cry like a bitch. And this is how it's going to be. And
I would like them to see, that being said, I would like them to add Omega into it.
All right, man.
That's what we're talking about.
I can't.
Yeah, I think the only thing with Omega would be if they were to reveal it, because there could be multiple seasons of Book of Boba.
I think Fennek would know.
But I'm saying, like, then if we did see Omega, we'd be like, wait, how did Omega get to this place from where we saw in Bad Batch?
And then we could see in Bad Batch season 2, Boba and her meeting up again somehow.
Because I'm almost positive Fennek knows, like during the Bad Batch timeline, she knows who she is.
Well, yeah.
Well, Lama Su says who she is. I'm pretty sure. Like that's why she's how valuable, or at least it's hinted at. It's kind of like an underlining thing. But
I just want to see them come.
That would be interesting.
That would get me back into Bad Batch if they could connect it that way.
There you go.
I can imagine like a post-credit scene where it's like Boba and Fennec, and then like they hear like the knock on like the Jabba's palace. I'm like, who's that? I mean,
boy, I'm Omega.
I'm Omega.
Boy, I'm Omega.
Oh,
and then
hey,
it flashes
brother.
to like, and then it flashes like Book of Boba Fett season 2 returning next year or something like that.
Omega will return in Book of Boba Fett season 2.
I think there's going to be a season 2.
That would be crazy.
I think it could be.
And then a bunch of live action fans are like, who's that? And they just run to watch the show.
Well, and speaking of Omega, we'll move to the third question, which is this. So we've all had our theories as to who could appear in the show. We got Black Chrysanthemum, and now we will most likely get Din Djarin based on the end of the episode. If there could be only one character that could be added to the show, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Din? Is that if or can we have them, or we say one more?
One more.
No, we're most likely getting Din Djarin, but we also got Black Chrysanthemum. So who's that one person that you really want? I know there's multiple characters that you wanted, but just name that one person, whether it's from your brain or from your heart. It doesn't matter. Name one character.
I mean, I think it's less likely now, but I still want Hondo Anaka to be.
Oh gosh, yes.
I'm a Hondo.
Oh wait, I have mine.
My friend, I am Hondo Onaka.
I take mine back. I know.
He's aligned with the Pike Syndicate.
I smell profit.
I smell profit.
But I think in the Kenobi show, my favorite thing would be like 5 minutes into the first episode, is be like Kenobi, and Hondo shows up there. I would love that.
And just having you and McGregor go,
yeah, I would love it.
That's funny.
That's so funny.
I thought you were dead.
He never dies. I love it.
Yeah.
I honestly want to see Cad Bane, but
Bane,
not
yeah.
working with Boba, maybe against him, like the Pikes hire him to fight Boba. But I think that would be sick.
Yeah, unfortunately, his species doesn't live long enough at this point in the
Yeah,
time period.
yeah.
Unless they're gonna do some like
Weird
he's
thing.
he's
but who
getting
knows?
he's getting enhancements like Dengar did in the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like he could do that,
In
but
a
let's be real.
flashback.
If we're talking Cad Bane, he's Clint Eastwood of the Star Wars universe, and I will not hear anything else of it. Like in Clint Eastwood, like in all the movies he's in, he dies. And majority of them. There's a few of them that he survives, but like the majority, he usually goes down in a blaze of glory. And I honestly think we're gonna see his end in Bad Batch.
Yeah,
I agree.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Going off Clone Wars characters, I would love to see Embo.
Yes, that is who I want to see.
Yeah,
That's
and
who I wanna see.
because if you guys have read the aftermath
Aftermath,
novels,
yeah.
he has a full pardon for his crimes, and he's basically a free man at this point. It's the
Same
right
with Dengar.
timeline.
Same with Dengar.
He's just exactly, all of them. Like that's why. I mean, I'm hoping we're gonna get like all of them. Everybody who name drops here.
Imagine!
Like I hope we get all of them as like a bounty hunter army. I would love that.
That'd be
But
insane.
Embo's my guy. He's so cool.
a platoon of bounty hunters.
So
Exactly.
building
All led
up-
by Hondo.
So building up Connor, I would say if you look at like who Boba is teaming up with, it's all people from his past. You got Black Chrysanthemum, Din Djarin, who are both people that he's affiliated with. I think the next logical step would be Bosk.
Yeah.
I think
I
that would
hate
make the
him.
most logical sense because, like, if we're gonna go get people, he says he need muscle. That would make sense. That'd be the next logical move. Get
That would be
people
logical,
from his
yeah.
past. And then
Though
obviously-
I hate Bosk too. I'm not.
Yeah, it scared me as a kid, and seeing those Trandoshans is just. Ugh.
And he's a dick in the Clone Wars, except when it
Yeah.
came to Boba.
yeah, that's true.
Right.
Boba is his bro.
Boba is bro now.
My bounty.
Yeah, I can't stop that. That's awesome.
Rye's never gonna come back because
No,
Char's just scared her away by doing a boss.
I hated. I had to skip through that, like that whole scene with Ahsoka when she goes off and she gets kidnapped by them. Like I skipped through it. I can't. It's awful.
That's such a good.
The
arc.
Lost Jedi, is that what it is, or Lost Padawan? I can't
Yeah, I
remember.
lost
Padawan,
Padawan.
yeah.
I think it is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so far we've gotten Embo, we've gotten Hondo Onaka, we've gotten Bosk. Is there anyone else that I missed?
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
Yeah, Cad Bane.
And we've got a couple of more. And Meeks and
We'll go to Meeks.
Carter
We'll go to
and Clayton
Meeks.
and me.
I'm gonna copy Vanessa in the chat. I have a friend, her name is Olivia Amadala on TikTok, and she does a Kira watch every single episode. I need her to show up.
So
I
Meeks,
think she is going to show up.
Meeks,
I think so too.
funny thing you say that. So at the end of the credits of the last episode, you probably didn't catch it. I didn't even catch it. So I was watching New Rockstars. They're
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
So at the end of the episode, there's a sound that is played. It's the same type of score that is in Solo for Crimson Dawn. And I didn't realize that, and I rewatched the episode, and I go, "That's the biggest Easter egg." Like you get Din, and then nobody realizes it until like somebody picks it up, and we get Kira.
They would have to make her look older, though, won't they?
Not much though.
Add a little.
not much.
Add some
It
gray
doesn't look that much
strands.
older
Add
than
some
the
gray
Clone Wars.
strands. That's all you got to do.
Well, did
I
y'all
mean,
see
it's
the
not-
thing on Twitter where they had somebody had a picture, a comparison picture of the necklace that she wears and Maul wears in Solo, and in the shape of the chair,
Yes.
and
Yeah, I saw that.
the
Oh, yeah,
bear
Mayor
and the
Moss
sunlight coming
eyes,
into
yeah.
the room. Yeah,
Mhm.
I
No,
think she's coming.
Well,
I think
plus
Crimson Dawn
everything
is
she's
in
been,
play.
especially
I wanna
everything
see
she's been
her
doing
in-
with War of the Bounty Hunters.
See, I want
They
to
wouldn't
see
be
her
doing
in Andor. I feel like she would be a great villain in Andor.
She could be both.
Why not both?
Why not both?
But-
Why
Yeah,
not?
that's because
More Emilia
that's the
Clarke, the
only
better.
right. But I honestly that's who I think should be like the big villain in that one.
I feel like
Mhm.
I know Carter. You said this on They Fly Now on our reactions. I feel like if I had to make, I know we can't compare the two between Star Wars and Marvel element with Quinlan Voss.
Cue the Quinlan.
But anyway, get distracted with the Quinlan Boss. But I
The
was gonna
Quinlan
say, I
Boss
feel
train from Pep is just. Ugh.
I love it.
It's
You don't hear the
unrelenting.
end of it.
it never is gonna end. But anyway, like going back to what I was gonna say. I know every week. I know you said you can't compare Marvel and Star Wars, but if I'm gonna have to compare like a Star Wars show to a Marvel show, I would say like Book of Boba Fett is the Hawkeye of the Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we're gonna get like a Kingpin reveal, like I feel like it's got to be Kira though.
Yeah.
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 Boba's just looking on his smartphone. He's like, "Hey, I work for this guy," and then and then all of a sudden you see is
like
just a red and white
something like
dress,
that,
and then
Yeah.
No, yeah. Carter and Clayton.
So you guys kind of already said like all the ones that I was gonna kind of say. But so I think when we're talking about the big bad of the show, I think there's three main possibilities. I think Hondo is definitely one. I think maybe not.
No.
Maybe not. Okay.
He's a good guy now.
Well,
Sorry.
No.
But no.
Hondo's
Hondo.
he's
You don't think
20.
Hondo?
Solid no.
Well, I think Kira definitely is
Okay.
a possibility. And then for my Bloodline fans, I think Ren Riven Die could definitely be, especially because of them bringing in Black Kristen. I think there's with the biker gang and their symbol, I think that would hint a lot to Ren Riven Die, especially because he is such a major player in Underworld stuff during that time period. I think there would be. Do I think he's gonna show up? Would they bring a character like him into live action? I don't know, but I think that's definitely a possibility of someone that could show up. So if you read Bloodlines, you know.
I already said my Cad Bane thing, but who knows? So
I'm going very simple and just gonna say Bo-Katan. They're gonna bring Mando.
I've been
Bo-Katan.
hearing some theories about that.
I think
Maybe
it's just gonna keep
Finn
it
is
simple.
coming.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if they bring Kira in, I think it will be the very last one to lead into season 2. I think it's too late to bring her in, only because it would be such a waste if they just bring her in and don't and then like kill her off. Like someone said, Kingpin, compared her to Kingpin. No, I think for that one to bring her in as the oh shit moment at the end of the season to get us to come back for Mandalorian season 3, lead it up into then.
So,
That could, because I have a theory that maybe that's who's taking control of Mandalore is Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, I was talking about this yesterday because Boba needed muscle, and there's no way he just needs one person. And we all know from the end of season 2 of Mandalorian that Bo-Katan, Koska Reeves, Din are gonna go try and
I'm doing her
take
cosplay.
the light cruiser and go retake Mandalore. So knowing those two are together at the very end could definitely spark up some theories for Bo-Katan showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do think she's going to be following Din wherever he goes because he has the Darksaber. She's not letting that out of her sight.
Right.
Oh yeah,
She's
absolutely.
I agree
Even-
completely.
She's still punching the air about it.
I don't even know
Yeah.
why she doesn't just marry him because it's settled.
Because
I
Bo-Katan likes Ahsoka.
Ooh, that's
That's
true.
Yeah, when Bo-Katan first premiered in Clone Wars,
she slaps her.
was hitting out Ahsoka and slaps her on the ass.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. Girls, it's like a baseball tap. We do in softball. Oh well, that's probably bad.
Oh, the tap.
So I'm gonna jump on Carter's prediction, and I'm gonna combine them. So he mentioned Red River Die. If you haven't read Bloodline, read Bloodline. It is fantastic. It's a great book. So at this time period, Ren River Die is on their own. The biker gangs, if you guys haven't noticed, on the back of their emblem, on the back of their jackets, the emblem is a dead hut with a chain around their neck. And
Slayer.
that is from
Slayer,
Leia.
right?
Hut Slayer,
Right,
Leia.
right.
So I think that and at this time she is Crimson Dawn is the head of the Pikes syndicate. The Crimson Dawn still controls the Pikes. They're not, the Pikes aren't their own. Crimson Dawn has them on lockdown.
Right.
So, and I think, and obviously the Ren River Die group is still part of, like, they're their small organization, but they're they're mostly Pikes. So I think it's a good possibility that we see Kira. And plus, let's just be real, like we see like the end credit scene, and we just get like a ship, or we're on Mandalore, and all we see is feet, and then it pulls up, it pans up, and we see Emilia Clarke looking like the baddest woman, just being like, so it begins. And then like in like her Daenerys Targaryen, like, so it begins. And then cut. Mando season 3, Crimson Dawn versus the Mandalorians versus Boba Fett.
Oh, that's a
the
really
Mandalorians
good
and
theory.
Boba Fett.
Yes.
That's a really good theory.
I have a
because that would make
And
keep
Grogu,
Ren
depending on
Riven
it.
die in as kind of the main villain, but then use Kira as that bridge between Mando and Boba Fett. That would make that actually. I like that a lot.
I just think it's I think it's possible. I think, but the problem is that we have to know what happens during that comic run during Crimson Reign.
I have a completely different theory if I want to throw it out there.
No, yeah, go ahead, Hereth. Go ahead.
I'm gonna throw a theory out there. Again, I didn't come up with this. I'm gonna discredit this to Star Wars Explained, great channel on YouTube. His theory is that the show is gonna end basically with the crime and underworld like uniting against the remnants of the Empire against Thrawn. So maybe Thrawn is that type post-credit scene of like that's who we need to go after. So like, because like if you think about it, like they're trying to like get a crossover event of all the shows, so you need to kind of get Boba in a situation where he kind of turns against the Empire, because the New Republic is probably going to offer better benefits for like the criminal underworld overall. So I think it would make sense that like they're going to be like, well, we need to take down the Empire, and that's the front runner right now.
I feel like they would introduce Thrawn though at the end of season 3 of Mandalorian to lead into Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's probably a stronger theory.
Yeah.
Why are we having a Grogu off right now?
The Grogu off is elite.
It's like Meeks has got her big. Dude, there's 4 Grogus right here. What insanity is this?
I got another if I need to bring it.
Like 10, bro. Oh, there's another one.
It's Grogu capitalism. Shout out to the Queer Ascendancy podcast.
Grogu.
Should have named my cat Grogu. But...
Grogu showcase.
This is. I don't have anything Grogu. But... No, I do. I have a Patrick Mahomes Grogu. He's wearing a 15 with the hair and everything. Oh my goodness. I just don't have it. Okay.
He's taking over the world.
Since the Grogu thing just came out of nowhere, let's move to the next question. And this is a pretty interesting one, because this is like, what could happen? So with 3 episodes left in the season, what do you think will happen in episode 5?
Hey, Char. Oh, sorry. I had to in the middle. So there was a fire alarm in Chris's apartment, so he had to bounce. So if you guys want to go follow him on Skrix on Twitter and TikTok, and go check out Dark Side Divas and Marvel's Divas. They're awesome. I want to thank him for coming on, and unfortunately he had to leave because of a fire alarm. But
yeah, and hopefully everything's all right with all that.
Hopefully
so,
he's okay.
Close it up to you guys if that is what is going on. So
no, yeah, absolutely. Chart, sorry for the interruption. I just needed to tell him before he popped
it's
out.
Okay,
so that
Grogu's just saying hi. Anyway, so my question was, with 3 episodes remaining in the season, what do you think will happen in episode 5?
Ooh.
That's a
because
tough
you
question.
can't go in too much detail because there's 2 more remaining, so you have no idea what's going to happen in them. But what do you think will we see in the 5th episode?
Mr. I'll make a man out of you. I think it's going to be a lot of recruiting. I think it's going to be a lot of training and getting a chemistry down and preparing for a big battle. And I think it might carry over a little bit in episode 6. Then all of episode 7 is going to be fight.
We could be getting more sand.
I'm seconding that.
Gathering an army of sand people.
Oh, an army of sand people that are still there.
That's the thing. Like, is this going to end on a cliffhanger, or is it going to be like a completed story? Like, are we going to
could he die? Because we don't know where he's at.
Whoa, bro.
I mean,
he's the main character. I don't.
Wait, so is it confirmed yet that there will be a season 2?
I don't know. I don't think so.
If it does end on a cliffhanger, then they'll have a season 2. 100%.
That's
Yeah.
I hope.
I have
we
a feeling
see
that he's gonna die. I feel like
that's
this
exactly
is
what happened with Mando season 1. Like we had no idea Moff Gideon had the Darksaber. Like that
Right.
was one of the best
yeah.
cliffhangers in Star Wars.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I hope we see I would love to see Din just pull up with all of his Mandalorians. I would love like
Oh yeah, Paz Vizsla. You got John Favreau.
yeah, just
pulling up
a
and-
whole squad of Mandalorians come in
It would be like Ezra in season 3 finale of Rebels of all the Mandalorians showing up.
yeah, like that. I would love to see that. Or like a ragtag team of bounty hunters just
I think a ragtag team of bounty hunters and Tuskens would be sick.
It would be
That's-
awesome.
that is what I was hoping for when
Well, we're
we
gonna see
saw
him ride the
all the
Rancor,
Tuskens.
too.
But like I don't know if
Well,
I don't know if Boba had contact with all of the other Tusks, like their tribe was contacted with all the other ones, or like because I was hoping for Boba to come back to them and be like, hey, help me out. Like, do you want to help me out? But they're all dead.
I mean, he was with the group that he was with for 5 years, so it's very possible that they could have ran into other Tuskens.
He knows their ways too, so it isn't like he couldn't prove that he's been one of them before.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. That's a good point.
But don't you think they would have had some sort of like build up to that if that's like in the other flashbacks?
Right. The only mention we have is like the chief said that other tribes use like violence to survive. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reference that we've gotten to the other tribes.
Yeah.
Could pinch a claw.
Anybody?
Did you say Ken Pincher-Klopp?
I did.
For those of you who don't know who Ken Pincher-Klopp is, go watch the Last Jedi deleted scenes on Canto Bite. Pretty fun.
And also, if you're not following Malik, the Jedi Smark, please go do that. He is amazing. He does great content. He does everything from wrestling to D&D. He was the DM for Chaco in Element and for the High Republic. Go check out their stuff out. And speaking of Chaco, where is his comment? He was here a while ago, so I might have missed it. He said, "What a great panel." I'm gonna find it here. Hold on. But
We should flash a
it's
picture of Ken
pretty far
Pincha
out.
on the screen for everyone who doesn't know who he is.
okay. Oh, here it is. Look at this elite panel. I mean, we try here, you know. And it looks like, yeah, Grogu has definitely taken over the Pod Ones podcast. Yeah, you know, I don't have one. I don't have a Grogu, so I'm not part of the cool group. I
Makes
guess.
it
Okay, I don't have one either. I had to. I
Yeah,
just had my
Mariah, high
Yeah,
five. We got this.
Why did
Yeah,
you get one?
No, I refuse to fall into that
should've brought my Lego
capitalism.
Um,
It's a dark hole
here,
I can
Luke.
see.
You can have this.
Luke,
thank you.
there's a comment that that Camilla had in the chat. She had no idea that you can actually see Ken Pincher-Klopp in the Last Jedi deleted scenes. She only knew from the Canto Bite novel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the deleted scene, Finn Rose and a father just go plowing through a spa, and he's just chilling there. Yes,
First
his,
it was
his
Grogu,
towel
now
does
it's
drop,
Ken
and you see
Pincher-Klopp.
his butt. Yes.
Oh my god. So I want the panel's thoughts on my
Ken
theory about
Pincher-Klopp.
Kira Luke. Okay,
The
so
cutest one-eyed devil in Star Wars.
So he said in the here's Element's theory on Kira. I think Kira is pulling Gideon's strings. From what we know of how Crimson Dawn operates in the comics, they perpetuate conflict via subterfuge and less direct involvement.
I think so.
And Kira's agents have agents of the Empire.
Yeah, that would go good with them being in controlling Mandalore. So I would have to agree with that.
That makes a whole lot of
That's
sense.
actually a very good
Yeah.
theory. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Well, and think about this. Her whole thing in Crimson Reign is to take down the Sith. That's the only thing that worries me about the theories with Kira, because she's taking on Palpatine.
Well,
and
that
she's taking on
would
Vader.
that would make sense for her to try to do that in this timeline. If it's after Return of the Jedi, her trying to hunt them down, and then she gets killed in Exegol. That's the only way that could lead it out. Like maybe she did team up with Luke and go on to the hunt to try to find. That's the only way they can make it canon. But if they did that,
Yeah. We've lost the chat. They have
The chat.
they have gone down a path that we cannot follow. I mean, we could, but
We're
This is
not
getting
going.
out of hand.
yeah, this is getting out of hand.
There's so much
Now
Ken
there are two of them.
going on. Ken Penessi Shaklussy.
Oh my!
What is
God.
that?
Oh my God! We try to be professional here, but these guys.
We know.
Do you
are-
follow Shayla Wren? Because she
Master Bussy.
queen of this.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Shayla Wren. She is just a.
Corrupted us to the dark side.
Yeah, she has. She definitely has. But yeah. What was anybody? What are, like Char was saying? What I think. Who haven't I heard from? Or who haven't we heard from for next episode?
I think we heard from everybody.
Have we? Where was I at?
What to expect from our next
You're too
episode?
busy looking at the Chiplicity. Come on, guys.
Oh man. Okay. But yeah, this has been a really, really fun episode, guys. Char, you got anything else? Carter, Hereth, anything else?
No.
No. I think this was a really great episode. I think it's only up from here. I hope it's only up from here for the Book of Boba Fett.
I actually do have one more question for the questionnaire too.
Okay.
So my question is, because since the Book of Boba Fett has Boba Fett and Fennec Shan as our two main characters, which one would you rather have more? Boba Fett being the character like he was in the original trilogy, or would you like to have more Fennec Shan being the main focus of the show? Because I think as of last episode, Fennec is finally starting to get some real attention in the show, because I feel like that she's just like a counterpart to Boba Fett, and we finally get more of her. So yeah, would you like to just see Boba Fett just blast a bunch of people like he used to do, or would you rather see more of Fennec's character growth?
Shout out to Camilla in the chat, Barika Wookie, because she has an amazing couple videos about Fennec and the female gaze versus like male directors.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
put that out there.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that because I really like her being this mysterious badass that's kind of like being like the bad cop, like her one-sided comments like, "You want me to kill him?" Like, that's me. Like, I love that. Like, I don't know. I really like that side of her. But this is Boba Fett's show. I think it should focus on him in that sense. I give her she's a great character. Give her her own. Give her her own, like in Bad Batch. Give me an arc where it just follows her.
Yeah, so you'd rather see Boba Fett?
Yeah,
become, like,
I think our
old,
time
mysterious
is.
and murder killer.
We
that he
waited
is?
like what 40 years for more Boba Fett content for his solo.
Yep.
So I think
Except
this
for
is
the little kid version in Attack of the Clones by Daniel Logan, but that was
yeah, that's true.
that wasn't really the
Oh,
Boba
I would
Fett
love
we
for
knew.
them to bring in Daniel Logan. Sorry, thank you for mentioning him because I would love to see him as a young adult playing.
Yeah,
I would love to see that. That's actually
And,
what I wanted to see in a flashback, and I haven't gotten yet.
yeah, and Daniel Logan has also mentioned on Twitter that
Yep.
that you have no idea what to expect to see on the show, because someone was talking about him maybe appearing in flashbacks, and he was like, you never know. And you have to keep in mind too, Daniel Logan also voiced Boba Fett in the Clone Wars series.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Like, Dave Filoni brought him in,
Yep.
and why,
Play him
why
as
can't
a 20.
Dave
How old
Filoni could
is
bring him in for this show. Who
Yeah.
knows?
15.
You bring him in for maybe a Krait's Claw flashback. I don't know.
As a young Boba, like young adult Boba, like I want to see. Sorry, hang on.
But while she's gone, who's next to answer that question?
I'll quick hop in. I feel like this is a tough question, I think, because obviously the show is the Boba Fett show, but she's supposed to be one of the main characters, right? And I feel like she's really one-dimensional right now. Like, she is just the mysterious, badass Fennec Shan, and this is something Camilla and I have talked about a bit, just like the way that male writers write female characters tends to be one-dimensional, and I would love to see more character development for her. Like, women don't just have to be either badass or really feminine, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's why Claudia Gray should write everything except for Thrawn, because I love
Claudia
Zahn.
Gray is a god.
Yeah,
God
Claudia
is
Gray is a
Claudia Gray.
god. Claudia
That's
is-
me and Luke were Claudia Gray. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
comment in the chat right now. Fennek right now, yes, is a strong female character, not a strong female character.
That's a fair point, and I can kind of see that for sure. But yeah.
Yeah, anyone else?
Jocko's comment.
Honestly, like I would like to stick with the Boba Fett stuff. Like I'm not the biggest fan of Fennec yet. Like I'm starting to warm up to her with Boba Fett and stuff because she's getting more developed and you're starting to like get to know her more. But like in Mandalorian, like she was just kind of there. Like I really didn't like her that much. But now in Boba Fett,
That
she's
hurts.
starting-
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but like she was just there. Like she just kind of helped them along. But like in Boba Fett now, she's actually like starting to like warm up and get more development and becoming like a very, very solid character. So like I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
see what
think
you mean,
she's
because in
perfect
the
how
Bad
she
Batch-
is.
Yeah, because in the Bad Batch and Mandalorian, she's just simply a hired gun. But
Yeah,
now I feel
yeah.
like they have a big opportunity to
To build
flesh out her
on her,
character,
yeah.
just like what Element said in the chat. Like there's a chance to really give her the spotlight in some parts of the show. So
I think she deserves her. I think Mei Na Wen deserves her own. She's the only.
Ming Na Wen is incredible.
Yeah, she's the
Yeah.
only one who has a salt. Like she's in all three franchises. She's a Disney legend. I believe she deserves. Not like your question was in this show. I don't think it's doing her justice if you give her spotlight in this show. She deserves her own. Give her her own flashbacks. Give her her own struggles. Give her her own story. This is just it's Book of Boba Fett. Maybe in chapter 2, maybe we can season 2 call it the Book of Fennek.
Ooh.
Well, if it was like
The Fennec Files.
if it was like Hawkeye in that aspects, she would be
Echo.
Kate. No, yeah, well, yeah, she would be. Well, no, I would say she's Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is Hawkeye, and Fennec Shand is Kate Bishop. Like she's learning things because we get like from the fire conversation. He's teaching her things about the crime syndicate and more or less she's not just the badass, she's gonna be the brains as well. That's what I would say. I could see if they did a season 2 and if they did kill off Boba, which would be that would be jarring. To do that, I've never seen, besides Game of Thrones, taking out the main character in the first season is like unheard of. But like it's crazy. Yeah, I'll go last about which one I want. But yeah, Connor, I haven't.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I want more Fennec. We know Boba can do all these things, and we'll probably see it. But I think giving more depth to Fennec will round out the show, and give it would elevate the show to get to see more Fennec. I think, and because honestly, we don't really know that much about. Like we see her in the Bad Batch, she's a bounty hunter, but she's still really young in as compared to now. Like I don't know. I think we just need more because. Like Meek said, she is one-dimensional right now, and we need more. I need more Fennec. She's badass. She's great, but I think we need some more depth. That would make me happy.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Kind
agree.
of building up what Connor was saying, I 100% agree. I feel like I wasn't really aware of the criticism with Fennec until Camille pointed it out. But once Camille pointed it out, I'm like, yeah, I see her point of view. Like the comparison she made one of her, I think it was her part 2 video where she made the comparison of like her character is more serving the plot than her character. And when she said that, I'm like, yeah, she's right, because like we're not really like learning more about like how Fennec is feeling after like being basically brought back from the dead. Like she's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna help you.
That, yeah.
Like she's just like, oh, I'll go help you, and then like, oh, I'm like a life debt. Like we never get to really explore like her point of view, or like what she's thinking about. Like she's just like again, like she's just the badass, strong female character. Like I just kind of want more from her.
Yeah. I think maybe
I don't
'cause
know. For me, I'm just like, for me taking on, I don't need to know someone's like, I love her how she is, and I don't need all that. This what they're giving me. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to, like, me telling my story. I don't feel like I have to tell all my backstory, all my history. It's where I'm going. It's who I am. Like, I don't know. When I see it on TV and they show her as a strong, it doesn't take anything less from me because I don't know what her past is like or what she's thinking inside. I can still relate to her. So to me, I think she's just as strong as what they give me. I take it for what it is. Okay. She doesn't want me to know her story, then okay. But I'm still going to trust her. I'm still going to love her. So that's just mine. You don't have to be vulnerable just to be a strong woman. You can just still be regarded and don't take any crap for anyone. You don't have to know everything.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Book of Boba should definitely still focus on Boba, and maybe if we were to get some more Fennek in a book or a comic run, I think would probably be the best way to do it, because I don't think we would get a Fennek show. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like the best way to maybe explore her backstory would be through a comic or a book. Honestly, I think a comic would be the best way to do Fennek.
Yeah, I could see that. I can definitely see them doing that.
Yeah,
I feel like they do that for everyone, though. Give them a comic series.
Yeah. So I'm gonna honestly, I'm kind of with that. I don't know. It's a tough thing because yes, we're talking about Book of Boba and it should be about Boba, but like Fennec is amazing, and I personally think that I'm kind of with the group of like I want to see more of her and her psyche, because like Ming-Na Wen, you don't just bring her in to be a badass. Like she can do amazing things on screen. Like she can do like let's put her in and I mean holy crap, she knows the universe. She is a fan. Like she knows so much about the lore, and she can put a different spin on the character and be like, well, we know where Fennec is at this point. Like, can I make a reference of like, oh, I remember running into such and such, or small little things, but like giving her more depth, giving her the ability to act more, give more feelings. I think that would be perfect for her. I think we'll eventually get that, whether it's in Bad Batch, her own show, a book, a comic. I more development for Fennec won't hurt me in the least. But
excellent. That's the last question that I had. So
yeah, this was an amazing panel tonight.
No, yeah, absolutely
amazing.
And we just want to thank everybody in the chat. Star Wars Lawyer, Chaco, Camilla, Vanessa, Chosen Pumpkin was in here for a little bit. Turtle Bomb Pro, Aiden Talk Star Wars Topics, St. Pat. I appreciate everybody coming out and supporting all of these amazing people. And this is the thing that I love to do every week, is just bring in people that we haven't really seen a whole lot of, and just give them the spotlight and just have them like give their opinions, whether it's the same or it's different than us, and just being able to show the toxic side of the fandom, that we can disagree. We don't have to agree on everything, but that doesn't mean that we can't be friends or have a civil conversation about it. Like that's the one point here that I want to make, is that if you take anything away from this podcast, this roundtable, everything that we do, is that we can agree to disagree and still be friends.
Yeah, we can disagree about things, but we can also be rational about it. You know?
Yes, absolutely.
We are all the Republic.
Yeah, absolutely.
For light and for life.
Absolutely. Exactly.
For light and life, like what Luke and Hereth are wearing on their heads.
Yeah, for light and for life. Unless you're feeling pain after Fallen Star, then it's just
It's pain.
1-800
You're writing the storm of
1-800
depression.
pain.
Writing the storm of depression.
The Fallen Star support group is here if you need to talk.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna need that line.
haven't read it yet, so don't.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You'll wanna read it. It's so good.
Oh.
High Republic. If you haven't read it,
Yeah, I
do
read the
it.
first two higher. I just needed a break from Star Wars for a little bit because it was.
I feel that. That's
Yeah.
that's.
He needs
definitely
to
a real
read
thing.
the High Republic.
Yes,
Do it. Just do it.
Clayton, I'm gonna
Dive
bully
in.
you into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Your one
Here's our deal.
requirement is
Here's
to
our
read
deal.
the High Republic.
I need to finish the Marvel shows. There's some shows that I need to finish or
Okay.
watch. I said I will, because he's a big Marvel guy. I'm a big Star Wars guy. I said
Okay.
I will finish the Marvel shows if he gets to read a book or two of my choice.
You're going to do High Republic.
Yeah. Okay.
I will give you the audiobook.
I don't know if that would be the first one I would introduce him to Thrawn. That's the best one to start with.
For a Lost Stars, Adam.
A Lost Stars. That's my favorite
Yeah,
book
Lost
ever.
There you go. See what I mean?
That's
Like,
my favorite
oh my
book.
goodness.
I'm gonna hype up the Padme novels.
Yes, I just started those. Oh, they're so good.
Yes,
So good,
those
so
are
good.
those are really good. But
I'm
Master
excited for the new one. I
Apprentice.
wasn't a big fan of the second one. I like the first one, but I'm real excited about the one coming out
oh, absolutely. It's
because
gonna
I'm
be-
not really into like the whole teen, like the young adult books.
Oh yeah, and there's some authors that can like really hit it out of the park for young adults, and E.K. Johnson is one of those. Claudia
Yeah.
Gray is one of those. I mean, she
Claudia
just
Gray.
did.
Goddess.
I mean, Master and Apprentice, one of my favorite novels.
That's- yeah.
I love that novel. Like anything Claudia Gray does, can we just get her to write a show?
Actually,
Yes.
I talked to her and she said,
What?
yeah, she
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and I
gotta
actually, and
talk.
E.K. Johnson follows me because of the whole Ahsoka thing because I work for her universe. So,
Oh
um,
yeah.
yeah. So
That's
it's
right.
all awesome. But I
that's
have
amazing.
gotten talking to Claudia Gray after the Lost Stars because I found it later and that book just changed my life. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
That is
amazing.
so cool.
I'm like trying to like I'm advocate to making that a show and I want to be Sienna Reed. Like that is like
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
that.
Rangers of the New Republic,
trying.
Oh,
I am
that'd be
trying.
good.
post Lost Stars, Cyanary, and Thancred.
Yes.
Yep,
I am.
yep.
That is a if I was any character in Star Wars, it would be her because I would 100% everything that she does is 100% what I would have done to the T.
Dang. But guys, that's gonna be it for the roundtable. We're gonna go around. Where can we find you? Whether it's through the galaxy or on the social medias. First person gets to go. Anybody?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go. All right. So you can find me on TikTok at CharCharJ, and you can also find me here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for Book of Boba Fett watch-alongs, Book of Boba Fett roundtables, and our weekly review of our Clone Wars arcs. So that's where you can find me.
Okay, and you can find me on Instagram at Mariah Carleyy with 2 Y's at the end. I'm on the same name on Twitter and on TikTok for my best content. It is on Instagram. You can follow me on there. And I on Tuesday mornings. I don't know.
Wednesday
Tuesday nights.
mornings.
Wednesday
Wednesday
mornings.
mornings.
Thank you. Thank
Gotcha.
you. We do
Mhm.
the live stream on YouTube. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll put the link on there. I don't know what the name of the channel is. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, so
There you go.
it just shows up.
You're there.
Whatever. I'm
You're
there.
there. Mhm.
And you can find me at Jedi.Connor on TikTok and YouTube.
You can.
And I am Fangirlmeegs on TikTok and Instagram. I guess I'm also on Twitter, but you
Yes.
don't have to follow me there.
Yes.
You can find me on TikTok at Cart2D2, and you can find me every Wednesday reacting to the Book of Boba Fett we post our live reactions. No, we don't live stream, but we do reactions, and then on Monday we do our podcast. And this Monday we are talking about Love for the Original Trilogy. So if you guys want to come
Featuring
out,
the Char. Where is he? Down
featuring
there.
Char J.
Oh yeah, Char's on.
Yeah.
Ooh, awesome.
But
Check
Yeah.
that out.
you can find me at Hereth Productions on TikTok, Hereth Edits on Twitter if you want to follow me there. And like Carter says, I'm a host of They Fly an Alley. You can find me on Monday nights. Usually live stream at a preset pick topic. And yeah, we're talking about OT.
And guys, you can go follow Chris from Dark Side Divas. I don't know their schedule. Chris, if you're still in here, before we end, I want to get like when you guys record so that I can announce that, because you don't want to miss him and Steph's awesome content, whether it's Star Wars or Marvelous Divas. They do a fantastic job breaking down Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff. But it was great to have everybody on. You can find me at the Pod Ones podcast on hold on, now I'm blanking, on TikTok, the Pod Ones Pod on Instagram, and at the Pod Ones on Twitter. Again, thank you everybody in the chat, and thank you everybody here for being a guest. We will get you on sometime. I would love to have everybody back on. We've got Bad Batch season 2. We've got Andor. We've got Kenobi. We've got Ahsoka. We've got the rest of the Clone Wars to watch. We'll get into Rebels.
And we got Lando show, which we know nothing about.
And Acolyte.
Oh, I
show.
forgot about that one.
Acolyte.
And Acolyte.
Hey, don't
Might
forget
even-
about
we
A
might-
Droid's Tale.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
yes.
I was gonna say we might even go over the droids, like
High
we might
Republic
maybe.
Phase
High-
2.
Yes.
Lego Star Wars finally got announced.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh God, yes. Like that. Oh, that just when I finally saw that yesterday, I was like, oh yes.
Hopefully a season 2 of
Yes.
Visions.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Hey.
so
Visions.
beautiful.
We needed season 2.
The Ronin.
Yep, absolutely. But guys, that is going to be it for Lighten for Life.
And may the
wants to say?
force be with you always.
Always.
Thank you guys.
Storm.
Oh God. You